problem that needs urgent attention is overcrowding. But the release of thousands of prisoners like James, who have served their sentences and are no longer seen as a threat, would surely help. Ashish Joshi, Sky News.
Well, I'm joined now by former prisoner and campaigner Shaun Attwood. Good afternoon to you, Shaun Attwood. 11 years in jail for a 10-month sentence. What impact would that have on somebody?
The psychological terror of never knowing when you're getting out is overwhelming. It pushed me to the brink of suicidal madness. My 26 months on remand, I was told I was facing a maximum 200-year sentence for non-violent drug offences in Arizona. And I was about ready to slash my wrist. Not making excuses for my crimes, but it's just never knowing when you're getting out, never knowing when you're going to get your life back. One of the happiest days of my life was when I was sentenced to 9.5 years, because I could see the exact time I was going to get out.
Yeah, you had some kind of certainty, so you've got the psychological implications, but also the implications on the prison population.
The prisoners are against it, the guards are against it, the prison governors are against it. They can't give these guys the programmes to reintegrate into community because they don't know when they're going to get out. So how can they safely transition them to become productive members of society? The prisoners in there who know they're going to get out, they're the ones getting the programmes, and it's causing resentment from the prisoners who are on the IPPs.
So what is the solution then, Shaun Attwood?
Instead of leaving all of these guys trapped in a kind of purgatory, they need to have sentences that are converted to normal sentences. They've done the crime, yes, they've done the time, they need to get out. So these tariffs need to go and they need to be converted into normal sentences. They need to be given the programs to reintegrate into society, and they need to be allowed out. This is costing the taxpayers $200 million a year almost to house 4,000 plus prisoners, many of whom have gone past their tariffs.
Yeah, I mean, Michael Gove has been speaking about this, former Justice Secretary. He's proposing that executive clemency be granted to some of those who are on these IPPs. But, I mean, who's going to take that decision? It would be a very brave and risky decision, politically very unpopular. I mean, imagine if an offender were to re-offend.
Very unpopular because it was designed for dangerous offenders and sex offenders, but the most dangerous offenders are doing mandatory or discretionary life sentences. Under IPP now, you've got people in there for shoplifting, you've got people in there for less than £20 of criminal damage. I don't think there's much risk in granting clemency to some of these low-level offenders. So
the IPP system has been used for prisoners that it wasn't designed for in the first place.
And even the government scrapped it, so it says it all right there, but leaving these guys trapped is most unfair.
I mean, when we look at the state of prisons at the moment, this month alone we've had the riot at Bedford Prison. We've had stories of prisoners being locked in their cells for 23 hours a day. Then in the last week or so we've had images on social media of prisoners enjoying takeaways, fish and chips, steak, posting photos that they've taken on illegal mobile phones. And Liz Truss insists that she is not out of her depth. What do you think?
It's disintegrating into complete and utter chaos. And I saw this in America. The state system was run down, and then they come in with the solution, which is the privatisation. So I think that's the way it's being shaped up.
So where do you see any improvement coming?
The Justice Minister needs to look at the whole situation and put the resources and make prisoners and prisons house people who are dangerous to society. Most prisoners are low-level drug users, people with addiction issues, the mentally ill. All these people could be referred over to the health services. Prisons need to go back to being housing people who are hurting other people. Low-level drug offenders are hurting themselves. So you could save all this money by transferring those over to health and letting prisons get on with what they should be.
Yeah, I mean, is this an issue of resourcing, though? Because that's going to be a problem across the board, isn't it? Whichever sector you're looking at.
It is going to be an issue, absolutely, but you know, young people, people with addiction issues, the mentally ill, people getting busted with low levels of drugs for personal use. Should the taxpayers be spending more than it costs to send a young person to the top independent school in this country to house that person in a prison for a year? It's an absolute waste of taxpayers' money.
OK, Shaun Attwood, thanks very much indeed for talking to us this afternoon.
You're welcome.
This is Sky News coming up.